May I have your attention, please?
It's Markers and Monsters Drawlloween 2017.
Happy October, everybody, and welcome to the 2017 Drawlloween season here at Markers and Monsters. As always, I'm your host, Colin, and for the next 31 days, let me be your guide into the realm of horror art and drawing, as we take on the entire calendar and fill this month up with ghasts and ghouls and all kind of spooky stuff. Now, the Drawlloween calendar is put out by the good folks at, of course, Drawlloween. If you have a moment, check them out on Facebook, and I believe they're on Twitter and all the other social medias. Just look up Drawlloween, you'll find them. You can check out the calendar there as well and see what I'll be doing each day in October. Why don't you give them a like, too, while they're out there? It's great that they put this stuff out, and just get everybody ready for this amazing season. Now, today, the first day of October, the theme is Return from the Dead. Ooh. So I thought, what a great way to start off the season than by drawing some classic Night of the Living Dead zombies from the amazing 1968 film. You've probably heard me talk about this before. This film was near and dear to my heart, not only because it introduced the modern concept of zombies into the mainstream, being a landmark picture in its own right, but it was filmed pretty much in my backyard. Just about, 10 minutes down the road is the Evans City Cemetery, and Evans City itself, of course, where the movie was filmed. I thought this would be a great way to kick it off the month, drawing some of these classic ghouls. Right out front, we have Bill Heinzman, the cemetery zombie. Behind him, we have some of the classic zombies. Right there in the back middle is Johnny, the brother who is turned into a zombie in the film. And just some of the other more famous ones. The guy in his boxer shorts and the woman in her nightgown. Now, I don't know these actors' names, unfortunately, but anybody who was in Evans City at the time, I guess, could have been a ghoul in the movie. Some people were excited about that. Other people were less than thrilled that this horror movie was filming in their backyard. But to the people that embraced it, well, they've really become a part of cinematic history, so good for them. This also leads me into a little bit of a corporate synergy, I guess, as it were, as I will be set up with my booth at the Living Dead Festival. That's October 20th, 21st, and 22nd, I believe. It's that weekend. Yep, 20th, 21st, and 22nd. You can look up Living Dead Weekend online, and of course I'll have links down in the description. But if you're in the area, it's only $5 to get in. And they've got stars from the movies, not just Night of the Living Dead, but Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, even Land of the Dead. All kind of vendors, stuff like that. So it's a great time. The whole town seems to turn out for this event. I can't recommend it enough. I have a great time there every year that I go. You get your die-hard, passionate Night of the Living Dead fans, and then just general horror fans in general, and people that are interested in like all kind of sci-fi and weird stuff. Really cool. I have a wonderful time and meet great people, and I highly recommend it. So if you're out, stop by my booth. I'm not sure where I'll be. Last year I was in the Edco Park area. This year could be someplace completely different, as they have areas pretty much throughout town, or they have in the past. So yeah, look for your old buddy Colin. I'll be there selling my wares, selling prints and originals, stuff like that. So a lot of fun stuff. Or just pop by and say hi, I like that. So as you can see, I'm doing this drawing in glorious black and white. It's a classy way to start off a classy month, I say. And it's coming along very nicely here. The ghouls, the zombies, were a lot of fun to draw in. I wish I could have crammed more of them in there, but in a smaller drawing like this, it's oftentimes better just to pick a few that are going to be good and put them in rather than try to draw like thousands of zombies. Then you're not going to see too much of the details in them. This way, everybody gets a little bit of focus and you can see. Of course, then I had to put Bill Heinzman, the cemetery zombie, right out front. This guy, the first zombie you see in the movie, really the first of this type of zombie in any of cinema, if you think about it. What a legacy to leave, you know. Zombies are so popular with The Walking Dead and just all kind of zombie movies and stuff like that. And to think that this guy was the first in the modern zombies. Now, later this month, we're going to be talking voodoo, and you bet we're going to be showcasing some voodoo zombies and getting into that whole aspect of the thing. But your modern stumbling around, flesh-eating zombies, yeah, these are the guys that really started it. You could go back to, I believe, 1964's The Last Man on Earth with Vincent Price, which is a great movie. They're called vampires, and they can talk, but they act a lot of the same way. This big horde of like shambling figures trying to get into the house. I think that George Romero and the guys who made Night of the Living Dead took a lot from that movie. However, I still think that this Night of the Living Dead is the introduction of the modern zombie. Even though they have their own influences for that movie, I think this is the movie that really solidified and made it into our pop culture and all that kind of fun stuff. So, yeah, amazing legacy to leave behind. So, the inking is coming along here. I threw the house kind of off kilter in the background just to make you see some, you know, a little bit of interest back there. It's hard to get the Night of the Living Dead house in. Unfortunately, that has been demolished. At the time they were making the movie, they rented the house to from the guy who owned it for, I think, like $200 or something pretty cheap. He said it was going to get torn down anyway, so they could do anything they wanted to the house. So that meant boarding up windows, smashing in walls, all that kind of fun stuff. Being that the house would just get demolished eventually anyway. It's pretty cool that they were able to do that, and it looks great on the movie, but it is a shame that it's not standing there today. I'm happy to report, though, as I said before, the Evans City Cemetery is alive and well and thriving. The chapel from the cemetery has just been restored to how it looked in 1968 when the movie came out, which is really cool. Also, all the gravestones and stuff are there. I believe the next part of the restoration project will have them be restoring trees. So that's pretty interesting, making the cemetery look like what it looked like in the movie. I also have to talk about the recent passing this year of George Romero, which was pretty sad. He's a great horror director, in addition to directing Night of the Living Dead, of course, and the sequels, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, all that kind of stuff. The guy was also directing all kind of cool movies. Bruiser, Creepshow, just a whole bunch of different stuff. Great director, interesting stuff that he worked on. He stayed a lot of times in the horror genre, but I believe he branched out into all kind of different stuff at various points in his career. So good for him, you know. What a life and what a legacy to leave behind. I know he will be sorely missed, definitely by this artist and by legions of fans. But I'd just like to say, George, if you're out there somewhere in the ether listening to this, thanks for all your work and creativity and really helping to make my life more awesome by making cool movies to go in it. All right, guys, so I'm finishing up the inking here. We are almost done. I just want to make Bill's hand stand out. Let's take a look at the scan now, shall we? All right, there we go. Looking pretty cool. I'm liking the way this turned out, as always. Let's check out the details as well. As you can see, I made the ink lines on Bill here in the front a little bit thicker so he kind of pops out a bit. And yeah, I had a fun time doing this, and it's a great way to kick off Drawlloween 2017. So stay tuned tomorrow. It's going to be an interesting one. Some Monday, if you catch the pun there. I love it. So that's it, guys. This is going to be a great October. Thanks for sticking with me, and we'll see you on the next episode. Till then, ta-ta.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Stop it! You're ignorant.
They're coming for you, Barbara.
Stop it! You're acting like a child.
They're coming for you.
Look! There comes one of them now.